Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, November 22nd. Welcome to Morning Market Movers, where we do some live analysis for day trading, look at potential hotspots in the markets for today. I'm Todd Rich. I'm with Nadex. With me from Keep Trading Simple, Brian Caprice. Before Brian and I take a look at what we've got going on today, I do need to share this disclaimer that trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for everyone, that any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. And this is an educational session. Please do not construe anything Brian or I say as a buy or sell recommendation. We are doing this for your education purposes. Well, it is a bit of a quiet open to the holiday week in the US. Not a lot going on. Not sure how this week is going to manifest itself. There's some announcements here. In fact, I'll drop in the economic calendar for you to check out for tomorrow and Wednesday, and then again on Friday, on Black Friday, if you want to take a peek. Brian and I will not be doing this session the rest of the week. So we are going to be taking a break on just this session for the Thanksgiving week. And I do want to say I'm wishing everyone a very, very happy Thanksgiving. It's going to be an interesting Thanksgiving this year because the last few we've been very restricted. And so I know a lot of people are looking to spend some time with the family and their families. Uh, so, what do we have? Oh, by the way, I mentioned that while we're not going to be doing any of these sessions for the rest of the week, there will be the full blown webinar though tomorrow. So Brian will be doing this webinar tomorrow. I'm dropping a link into the chat if you're not registered. So we will have that webinar midday tomorrow to take a look at what was going on, look at any other potential opportunities for the balance of the week, uh, knowing that we're obviously not going to be open on Thursday. Sometimes Black Friday can be pretty interesting on a shortened trading session. So you just don't know. What are we looking at for today? Today, the really only thing moving, Nat Gas. It's cold here in Chicago. Nat Gas gapped lower on the open last night. You can see that gap lower. It traded lower. It's trying to bounce a little bit right now. This is the one spot where we've got something moving in the markets. Other than that, we do have the equities trying to open in the green. I know Nasdaq is at all-time highs, but the Dow and the S&P are also trying to open up in the green for Thanksgiving week. So with that, Brian, I'm going to flip it over to you. There's not a lot to really go through, but let's go ahead and take a peek at what we've got and take a look at the charts and maybe some technical levels and some ideas.
Yeah, I mean, for Monday, it's not surprising for Monday that there's not a whole lot of news, but there's really no news today. We have existing home sales, not really going to do much with the market. Expect to be down a little bit. Some retail sales data for New Zealand, which is again not a huge market mover. Even news releases, was really not a whole lot in here. The only thing that I could find this morning that may be something is um, you know, the inside scoop from whoever Punchbowl is basically saying that the Fed's making an announcement today that the White House will announce whether it will nominate Jerome Powell for a second term today, according to multiple
Well,
sources with knowledge. So,
yeah, and people are talking about it. I'm not, we've spoken about it a little bit.
yeah,
They're two of the same, so I'm not sure.
yeah.
You
And
know,
I don't know if it's going to be. You never know. I mean, there's an article, and again, Daily FX has an article. If you guys are interested in looking at it more, Powell versus Bernard, the next Fed chair, pros and cons. And again, it's from Chris Vecchio. It's one of those things. It's odd that they're trying to calm the market by saying that we're going to have continuality, but then at the same time, why replace if we're having continuality if there's nothing wrong? So I don't know. We've spoken our piece on it. I
but
don't know. We'll see.
this is the one thing people are talking about. I know that they said that President Biden would say something before he took off for the holiday Tuesday night. So
Yeah,
yeah, if we hear something today, great. Otherwise, we'll probably hear something tomorrow. But
yeah.
the truth of the matter is there's nothing else to talk about. And when you've got two of the same, you're right. Why change it? But this is just
Mhm.
talking for the sake of talking.
Yeah.
To
I mean,
me, a little bit
I
when
mean,
they're so
with
the
lack of
same.
news, guys, it is a cool article. I mean, there is some cool things in here if you guys are looking for, like, get a little bit more knowledgeable about the situation.
And
And
Chris is
again, I
great,
love.
by the way. Chris
Huh?
Vecchio is great. He's a really sharp. He does some great analysis. I'm a big fan of Chris's.
Mm.
So it probably, I mean, I've got to give it a read. I'm not going to say probably.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth a read, just to
hmm
understand
It's
what
it's
the
odd
big
that this
hoopla
predicted
is.
has Bostic in there as a third one. It's funny. Ballard is trying to stay out of the running for this one, but I'll have to research that a little bit more. Why not him? Because he probably has the most pointed and kind of most precise in my eyes, and he's very I want to say he's playing the politics game well, but in staying out of the light here, not being one of the three candidates, but being as vocal and as kind of direct with what needs to happen, kind of interesting. I think there's some politics working behind the scenes there. So Bostic is not who I would have I would assume, but I don't know. Everything's got politics in it these days, but it good read. Check it out. Nothing else in there. Looking it over in the markets today. Starting off with the VIX to see what type of volatility news releases and things like that would portray, and really there's nothing. Friday obviously got a little bit volatile. We had the down and then kind of the VIX return right back at the same exact place where we closed. So nothing crazy. It's showing the 1.6% up from the close on Friday. Dollar index totally flat. It's
Nothing.
like the Europeans are taking the week off. And remember, and it's kind of funny too because Europe doesn't really have Plymouth Rock. They weren't happy about they don't
Although,
they like it, but they
Thanksgiving
like it
is
better.
taken on a bigger meaning, and while it is definitely distinctly an American holiday or a U.S.
Yeah, it's not
holiday,
even a good one anymore here. Now it's the we need to change it. The celebration of destroying the native culture. It's not even a good one now. And again, Canada has a Thanksgiving, but it's not now. They've already had it. So it's strange. I mean, dollar index almost no movement whatsoever in the overnight session. All the currencies basically flat. I mean, a little bit of movement. A dollar yen, Aussie dollar is up a little bit, but besides that, I mean, again, it's not uncommon for it to be completely flat going to a Monday. So that's not it's not anything we've seen. But with no headlines, no news, maybe a couple announcements, but I would say the one thing about the announcement that would send the market going crazy is definitely the crypto realm would be interesting because again, Bernard, that is kind of her wheelhouse. So I'd say watch out for that. And the natural gas, obviously, we talked about it, is the big mover down 5%, taking a little bounce, and this is a level we've talked about, the 476. We mentioned before that was kind of our targets for the downside. And when we had that really big drive to 507 on Friday, and we kind of took off, and then right around 2 o'clock, when the market closed, it just kind of petered around. Big gap down, and that was kind of, we mentioned that there could be some gapping, and again, Russia, whether they're going to send it, not send it, Belarus. I mean, it was kind of, once we knew that Austria was closing down, Germany was, parts of it were closing down because of COVID. That definitely made this kind of an interesting story because, again, Europe is a lot more reliant upon natural gas than we are. So again, seeing those shutdowns, you're seeing the demand drop much more. And again, we're just starting the lockdown. So I don't know. I would say, this is a level that it's not really the strongest. It wasn't something we were really looking to take a bounce off of, even though it is bouncing. If anything, I would say price is going back up to find some more sellers. So if you are looking for something, I would say that this one probably has eventual targets down here of $4.62. Again, I'm not upset about that, you guys. I still have not filled the tank. I had to check it. A week ago, it was at 18%. So I'm not quite doing the check engine light thing yet, but I'm starting to get close. But if they can get down to 425, maybe I could be sold. It's kind of what I'm looking at.
I like it. Well, let's go ahead. Let's take a peek at the equities. They're all trying to open in the green. I know the Nasdaq. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if there's anything interesting in there with the Dow having pulled back last week.
Yeah, I mean, Nasdaq is so everything right now is working in the NQ's favor right now. Again, words of COVID. I mean, it's just one of those things. Technology is also a very, very big hot item. I know with least with my kids, like, well, what do you get kids now? They're 11-year-old boys. What do you get them?
Video games.
That's it. All it is online spending. It's they're at the they're at it saddens me that 11 they're at the just give me a gift card. Like, wow, we've gone to that. It is so impersonal now. I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm gonna buy you socks just so you have something to unwrap, and undershirts. So you can remember it's like, yep, I got those as a kid. But yeah, NQ is up again. It should benefit from everything going on. Again, keeping low rates and everything. It's great for them. And then the COVID threat is always good. S&P 500, as you can see. This kind of what we had going on. We had pulled back to the 61.8 and then immediately rolled back down to the 23. And now we're stuck in there. So, I'll remove that so we can kind of see it. But in reality, we're kind of stuck in the same exact area. We didn't breach new highs. We never made it to 47.25. We never got back down low to test the 68.85 or 86 area. We kind of ended. We gapped again, nice little weekend gap and pushed up. But in the European session, is there really any type of momentum in this one? The answer is not really.
Nothing.
I mean, last week was a lot of earnings, and now we're kind of like that depression afterwards. And again, I know for me, I mean, I know, some of the people listening, your kids are off for the entire week. My kids have a 2-hour early delay today, 2-hour early dismissal tomorrow, and off Wednesday. It's like, can we get any more different configurations in 3 days? And then off Thursday, Friday, obviously. So it's another thing, a lot of people will be off this week. So volumes will be light. Now, you mentioned Friday. With volumes light, since we're not going to be meeting, remember, when there's light volume, it's much, much easier to manipulate the market. Orders that wouldn't normally make the market move will have that ability. You see it in currencies all the time in the overnight. So,
liquidity.
The world is still going for the next 4 to 5 days. So, we never know what's going to happen. Maybe the White House has announced it today. Maybe it's not the Fed announcement that we're going to hear. Maybe it's another infrastructure spending or something else. I don't know. I mean, you have no idea. God knows what the headlines are going to be. It could be anything. It could be a climate change headline. It could be an infrastructure headline. It could be anything out there.
We do have the oil inventory on Wednesday in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And do we even get? I should have looked at the calendar. I'm not even sure we're going to get a nat gas inventory because Thursday is when they would do it. I'm not sure they push it to Friday.
It's probably in there.
Because sometimes they'll. Yeah,
they typically move it. It would definitely be here. Let's see. It's a good question.
You gotta shake. I don't think so.
Is on Wednesday.
They pulled it back a day. Okay, so Wednesday is actually going to be an interesting day.
Wednesday at 12.
We've got both oil and nat gas inventory levels. And again, everyone's probably going to, a lot of people, and the FOMC minutes. How funny is that?
Yeah. So Wednesday's a big day. I mean, I don't know why I didn't click all 3 of those. I mean, Wednesday for the U.S., this is everything. Preliminary GDP, obviously going to be important. Core durable goods, unemployment claims are move forward. Core PCE, typically a Friday release, again, showing that it's double moving forward. Consumer sentiment move forward. Crude oil is there, natural gas is there, and then FOMC minutes. So again, Wednesday is always extremely light volume. It's the biggest travel day of the year. Typically, I don't know.
When you're in the airport,
there's going to be fireworks. It's yeah. But again, we'll cover that. We'll cover that tomorrow in our midday session. It's not really a morning time thing today. So what I look for today overall, again, Russell would probably be the one that we're looking for. Any type of negativity, I think Russell has the biggest ability to kind of come back down again. It's got some buyers, popping up over here right at the gap, but I wouldn't say that there's a ton of them. But I think 23.25 is a nice little bottom for the Russell. The Dow, same thing. It took a bounce off that same level down here before the 530 down to 35,500, right? Psychological number. I think that's probably a bouncing point. What I wouldn't be surprised today is, again, they're trying to open in the green. No real news. It took a small bounce. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back up again and we end somewhere kind of in this middle ground. But again, I don't know if there is a Fed announcement.
Does the market do something just because there's nothing else to react to?
Yeah. I mean, we're not quite at that December timeframe. If this was December 20th, and I would say, we got nothing for the rest of the time. Hedge funds are out, but they're not quite there yet. So it is a travel week. It is going to be light volume. What I would say is, in particular, guys, if you see any major spikes, like if you see something all of a sudden spike up and you can't figure out why, look for an immediate retracement. Look for it to run into something, because again, this is not a fat finger, but that's what my group calls it. It was a fat finger slip where someone sold a big order, bought a big order. Again, with low volume, one big order can make this market move, but then there's no big orders to counterplay it. So it will kind of come right back again. So there are a lot more parabolic retracements in lower volume timeframes. So,
something to look out, right, if you're watching the markets today. But other than that, it is, we're starting the week off very quietly, and in all likelihood, that's kind of what we're sort of setting up for.
Yeah, VIX is there, dollar index is doing nothing. If you look at TLT, the bond side of things, bonds are opening up a little bit farther down. Again, bonds bad. Cryptos are up just a little tiny bit, and there was actually a big spike in those. Again, this could be Bernard's coming in. She loves cryptos. It's like, not really. So, um, yeah,
Oh,
I
she wants to
mean,
do a digital isn't she the
yeah,
digital dollar?
her
She
her
writes
thing
up
is,
cryptos.
yeah,
That's so funny.
she wants a digital dollar. So there's still control over kind of like economic policy. Kind of the same, not quite as harsh as China's version of
Right.
it, but yeah, she wants to come in. So again, it,
Yeah.
creating it means that you can money launder and never be tracked, even though you can be tracked with the whole thing isn't something that they want. It doesn't, if everybody paid in, if everybody paid in Bitcoin and there was no control over the interest rates that are associated with it, the economy would just completely crumble. There'd be nothing left. So unfortunately, I know people love freedom, but that's not how kind of,
No,
yeah,
yeah, well,
doesn't
well,
work.
I'm not. I don't want to get up on my soapbox on that one. So that's what we got going on for today. Remember,
Yeah,
just a quiet day, not a lot to talk about.
yeah,
And what I would say is definitely join tomorrow if you're around. Join the webinar tomorrow. Brian will take a peek at
yeah.
anything
We'll,
that
we'll
may have
plan it. We'll plan out the
transpired
rest of the
with
week.
what's that?
I said we'll plan the rest of the week.
Oh, and we'll
How to
and
plan
right,
some
and
of the.
not only that, it'll take a look at Wednesday and Friday. So
Hmm.
we'll have a little bit more information, particularly if there was a change, if they make an announcement in the Fed. We'll, that would probably have already impacted the markets, and
Hmm.
take a look at other potential setups for the balance of the week. So with that, any questions for Nadex, please email us customerservice@nadex.com. Any questions for Brian, you can certainly reach out to Brian. Please feel free to reach out. Um,
Uh, we just got it. Somebody just said Powell got his second term, so maybe there was
well,
an announcement.
I
Did,
don't know.
did it just come through on breaking? Oh, there you go, right there,
Um,
1 minute ago. U.S. White House nominates Powell, and there we go.
there, there it was.
It's
Okay, so
official.
wow, you got it fat. Wow, you got to look at that. Talk about real time processing.
And she'll become vice president. So
So there we
she'll be
go.
the
I
vice.
mean, there
She'll be
was
the
really
vice
no.
chair.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's changing. I don't know. So anyhow, yeah,
Yep.
probably not much of a surprise there.
Awesome job,
Um,
Sean. Sean is he's my news consultant. One of my students that
yeah,
is late
yeah,
breaking. He
and
knows
yeah,
everything
I
that
just
comes to the
got it.
wire.
I just got it as well. Biden will nominate Powell for a second term.
Yep.
So you know what? Let's just and the equity
Is
markets
market
don't care.
not yet.
And well, maybe everyone hasn't gotten the news yet, but nothing's changing.
No, yeah, we're right on it. We're right on it. So again, 9:30. The reaction won't happen until 9:30 anyway. So watch the
All right,
open.
well,
Drop down to your 15 minutes, guys. Look for a pullback and look for. I would say because nothing is changing and the certainties in the market, that is a positive sign for the market. If you see a pullback from 9:20 to 9:30, look for some of those longs at the open. I would say there's no reason to change it today because again,
yeah.
low rate environment. No questionable changes coming down the road. So
All right.
continue
Well, there you have it. Real time
reality.
processing happened
Yep.
right for us. Caught it at the very end. Wish everyone again a very happy Thanksgiving week, and hopefully everyone will be able to celebrate with their families and their friends. And that everyone stays safe. Please join Brian tomorrow for the midday session. And other than that, we will catch you next Monday. So stay safe and good luck in the markets, everyone. Thanks for joining.